Welcome in, everybody, to the next edition of Inside the Huddle with Coach Stephen Holmes, the head coach of the Pike County Pirates. It is game day for the Pirates. And, Coach, it seems like it's been forever since we've seen each other, man, between fall breaks and vacations and petty principals at visiting schools. It's nice to see you and be back with the team again. And looking forward to a big game tonight.
It sure is. It's great. It feels like it has been forever. And we're just excited as we can be to be back playing tonight.
Well, we've only got 2 more games remaining in the regular season. We're here in the locker room right now, but later tonight, the Pirates are going to be in Madison. We're going to be taking on a tough bunch here tonight. There is no way to sugarcoat it. A team who's ranked second in the state. They're 8-0 on the season. And one of the favorites to not just win the region, but, Coach, a lot of people are saying Morgan County's got a shot at the state title this year.
They sure do, Coach. They got everybody back from last year. And, their quarterback, they have a quarterback, leading rusher in the state, running back, and just some great and there's great weapons around them. They got, they're really great on defense, special teams, great coaching staff. It's going to be a huge challenge.
Well, let's talk about our Pirates for a little bit because, again, it's been a couple of weeks since we've been in action off the bye week. And, man, it seemed like for a few weeks there that everybody was just dropping like flies, injury after injury after injury. So before we get any further, let's kind of get a health update on the team. I know that Samaje Smith was out after the Jackson game. We had a couple of linebackers get beat up who had on some casts and boots in our last game. How's the health of the team?
It's good. We got some resilient kids. We've got, some kids that got banged up a couple weeks ago. We got them back. And then, unfortunately, we've lost some kids as well. Max McBrayer, one of our leading tacklers on defense, one of our signal callers. He's going to be out for the rest of the year. He had a hand surgery and just really hate to lose him on the field, but he's still there as a leader. And then, we lost Samaje Smith for a week. We got him back. Looking for big things out of him tonight. And, we got some other kids that are going to fill in some spots there. We're nicked and bumped and bruised, but, our kids are real resilient. And, we take our injuries head on. We knew going in the year, every year, to be successful, you got to have some depth. And we do a great job with our coaches developing our team and our players and, coaching up, especially that bottom half of that roster, people like to call it. And because this down the stretch is where you need those kids.
I know after the Jackson game, Samaje was out, and there was a lot of talk about this injury. Can you break down and tell us what the exact injury was and the recovery process for Samaje?
Absolutely, Coach. He, that night, he was diagnosed with a neck strain and, and a mild concussion. And, we did with the concussion protocol, pre-test, post-test, and we put him in the step-back plan that we use after – we passed the post-test. So he's done a great job of that. We always make sure our kids follow the rules, because, teenagers, sometimes they'll get to feeling good and then they can jump right back in there. But we still got to, follow the plan and take the necessary steps, for the safety of our kids. And he's done a great job of that, but he's back full force tonight.
I know our last broadcast we had against Westside Macon here for homecoming a couple of weeks ago, toward the end of that game, our quarterback, Braden O'Connell, had to come out toward the end of the fourth quarter. What's the update on number 15?
He's back cleared, but he missed a whole week of practice while he was in concussion protocol. So our backup quarterback, Mitchell Hull, senior, he'll be in there tonight. We're really excited about him. He's got a lot of reps this year. He's done a great job getting himself prepared, throughout this year as a backup, not knowing if he was ever going to touch the field on Friday night. Well, now is the opportunity. We got to do a great job around him, play great defense, and be good on special teams so he can be successful as well.
Well, the last time he was on the field against Westside Macon, we had a 2-play, 70-yard touchdown drive that he ran in. So he was off to a pretty good start in that game.
He is. He's a little bit different of a quarterback than Braden, but he does a great job running the football. Does a great job, real clear thinker. Just really excited to see him tonight.
You mentioned concussion protocol. Can you kind of tell us what that entails on the high school level from, I guess, the moment of an injury, like when Samaje went down at Jackson, to being able to come back tonight, kind of break down that step for the high school level?
Absolutely. Anytime that, like a kid has a concussion or any symptoms, we immediately remove them from activity, and we do a test on them on the computer that tests their memory and does some things to test their brain activity, and that's the pre-test. And then 7 days after that, we do a post-test to show improvement. If they show improvement, then they get to step into our step process. And then we still use good judgment. Even though a kid shows improvement, if we still see signs in our step process, it's day 1, day 2, day 3. At any point in that step process, if they don't look to improve, then we go back to day 1. So, the safety of our players is number one. to prevent concussions, our coaches, we hop on three things. And one is, do a great job in the weight room. So their neck muscles and those muscles are built up, and their stamina, so they're not out there to get fatigued and lower their head. Two is to coach proper technique, and three is to put them in the best equipment that we can put them in. So we do those things to make sure our players are safe. And but unfortunately, you do still have some injuries and head injuries, and we do a great job with our concussion protocol. Unfortunately, a kid has to enter that. But
I always hate to see a player get hurt, but always great to hear they're coming back. So I want to go back to that Westside Macon game real quick, because when Samaje was out, we had a new back in the ball game.
Sure
Number
did.
13, Rocco Barbie. And we're going to be talking with Rocco a little bit later on today. He was our player of the game from that game against Westside Macon. But what's the plan, man? 13 looked like a bull in a china shop.
Sure
He going to
did.
be back in there tonight, or how's that going to work?
Really great player when the ball is in his hands, and he'll be back in there tonight running the football. And we'll have both those guys on the field tonight, so it's going to be exciting. Like I said, he really led us offensively last week. Does a great job, leads by example. Doesn't say a whole lot. He talks with his actions, and just a very explosive player. Plays the game very hard the way it's meant to be played. Knows one speed, full speed, and does a great job. Has a great nose, great sense of football sense too. So he's played football a long time. Is great football savvy about himself.
Let's talk about Morgan County. Again, the team we're playing tonight ranked second in the state. They're 8-0, and we get them this evening. You mentioned a few moments ago about their quarterback. We already know how great he's going to be, but what else about the Bulldogs is the number one, I guess, or number 2, 3, 4, 5 concern tonight? I mean, I'm sure they're loaded all over the
They
field.
do. They have a running back that's leading the state in rushing right now. As good as their quarterback and receivers are, their running back he's the real deal. He's he's returning from last year. He played defense for them last year, and this year he's come on to be the starting running back. Very explosive player. He will be the best back that we've seen this year in the regular season. He can go take the house on any play. We're going to do a great job of leveraging the football inside and out. Our kids have worked really hard on that, and we're doing a great job. And we're going to do a great job defeating blocks up front and neutralizing that. And that's he's a great player. That's about it.
Tell me about your team playing a team like Morgan County. What does this do for your team, knowing not only is they going on the road, but they're playing a team ranked second in the state? About your team, is this kind of like a statement game? It's just a measuring stick that your guys can use.
We've been harping on our players since Monday. It's always all about us, but there's no, the elephant in the room is you're playing the number 2 team in the state this week, and your preparation. Our seniors, it's a big tall and center week for our whole school. Because Morgan County's a region game, and they're very good in every sport we play.
Yes.
And they're going to be talented. They're going to be, the same expectation for them in basketball and baseball as well. And we got to set the tone with this week. And our seniors have to do a great job in showing our younger guys how you prepare and how you compete against a team, this caliber. Not that it has anything to do with who we're playing as much, but it does. And they're going to set a great example this week. We've been, or they have been setting a great example this week. We've been keeping our feet on the gas, and it's a big statement game for us. With us getting here 18 months ago, we're searching for that one thing to get us to that next step, that next level. We don't know when that time's going to come, but we're going to keep pressing forward until it does.
All right, before I let you go here and we get ready for the ball game tonight, a couple more questions, and we'll look toward next Friday. I know coaches never like to look ahead. They're always like focus on today, but next Friday night, 2 things. It's senior night here at Pike County. We're going to have Rutland here at the house. Anything we need to know, because we won't talk to you again until next Friday. So anything we need to know for next Friday night's final home game of the year?
We're going to recognize 17 outstanding seniors. They got a big week next week for them. They're getting a special dedication they don't know about yet on Tuesday. And last year's senior class, we named the stadium after them, the Boneyard. That's where that come from, courtesy of the class of 2025. The 2026 class have their dedication next Tuesday, and they'll leave there. That'll be their mark. They leave. So when they get to come back in 2, 3, and 4 years, they're going to see the program at a higher level than they left it. But they know that they were an important part in getting it there and getting things on the right track. And, we want to make sure that helps instill pride and instill tradition. So we're really excited about them, getting to honor them next week. And, with a win, that'll put us in the playoffs as well. So
I didn't want to mention that word.
I mean, that's just the elephant in the room.
Okay.
That's what it is. And,
So it's basically a must-win then.
It is, Coach. But the process is still the same. We want to have the same routine we've been using, and our kids are going to respond great. We're just really excited about tonight, though.
All right, final question, and I'll let Coach Holmes go get ready for tonight's game. Senior night is next Friday, but it's also Halloween. What are you coming dressed as? Other than a head coach of a high school football team in small town Georgia, if you could come dressed as anything for Halloween,
oh, good question.
what would it be? Or what's been your favorite? Have you ever done a Halloween costume?
I have done
right,
it. It's always a surprise because I never tell people when I'm dressing up. I'm not a big dress up guy.
What's been your favorite so far that you've done?
Well, my last time, my daughter was in elementary school, and it was during the pandemic. It was during 2020. We, just coming out of it. But I dressed up as a shark because she was a marine biologist,
Nice.
and I got a baby shark. I dressed up as a shark though. And I put a lot of time into that little thought in that costume, and I walked out there like a champ, and nobody knew I was going to do it. It was a surprise to everybody, and it was a really fun time though. But that was the last time I dressed up.
Every time we've interviewed players this year, they've always told us about animals they want to be, and they get shirts. I think we just found Daddy Shark right here. Everybody do in the stands tonight, and we'll be good to go. Coach, as always, appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much. Tonight, Pike County on the road, heading to Madison, going to be taking on the Morgan County Bulldogs. We hope you'll tune in for the broadcast. Our coverage will start at 7 p.m. for the pregame show, and kickoff scheduled to come your way tonight at 7:30 live from Madison. For Coach Stephen Holmes, I'm Chad Feltman. Thank you for tuning in to Inside the Huddle, presented by Countryside Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.